Hey guys, this review is going to be a little bit different as we've already reviewed this game when it was released on the PS4 last fall, whereas now it's on the Switch. So with that, here is basically a TLDR of that review. But please note, if you want to see the full review and how the game works, please do check out the previous review. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 is simultaneously the third entry in the Trails of Cold Steel series, while also being the 8th entry in the Trails of series as a whole. Naturally, this takes place a year after Cold Steel 2. The old Class 7 has graduated, Reen is now a war hero known as the Ashan Chevalier, due to his workings in annexing the neighboring country of Crossbell, and using his Divine Knight, Valimar. Reen himself continues to be our main character per Cold Steel tradition, as he is now a teacher at the high school he graduated from. How does that work, you may ask? Well, don't worry about it. In regards to design and flow, if you've played Cold Steel 1, this game is an improvement of that. Each chapter starts off with you doing some teacher stuff like helping out students and getting to know them better. Eventually, you explore a mini dungeon at the school for the sake of scientific research. Then finally, the real meat of the chapter comes in, is when you're essentially taking your class out on field exercises to different regions of Erebonia and helping out with whatever systemic social issues are going on there. The name of the game and its battle system is turn manipulation. The game loves to drop random stat buffs and debuffs. What Cold Steel 3 adds here is the Brave Order mechanic, so that way you'll be able to use your BP more in battle. These orders are generally buffs that will only work for a short amount of time, so as always, timing is a very important factor. Of course, there are some things that break that formula here and there, but again, this is just a super reductionist review of the game, since we've already reviewed the game in its fullest last year. But, let it be known, this is one of our favorite games from last year, and at this rate, we expect Cold Steel 4 to be another one of our favorites from this year, assuming things don't get delayed. Now, this is a part of the video I honestly wanted to focus on, the Nintendo Switch. But not so much about its performance, as for the most part, its performance is fine. Sure, there are some details lost and some textures, and I'm sure that's just due to the compression, since we are talking about turning a 40GB game into a 7GB game. So it's only natural that things would take a hit and things would be lost along the way. Anyway, back to business. The release of the Switch version just feels a bit weird to me. While I greatly appreciate what NIS America has done to provide the Switch version, the question just becomes, who is it for? This game is practically inaccessible to those who haven't played or heard of the series before. While yes, there is a pretty comprehensive summary of Cold Steel 1 and 2, and there are glossary notes that go along with them, this doesn't include the stories found in Trails in the Sky, nor does it include the Crossbell duology, which becomes a focus point in Cold Steel 3. Not to mention, the game acts as the information is something you're supposed to know already. So at the end of the day, while I wholeheartedly recommend this game, it comes with a ton of asterisks. If you're basically caught up and never got the original PS4 release or PC release, by all means, go to town. If you have a PC made within the last 10 years and a lot of free time on your hands, please, I highly recommend that you play through everything before this. Now, if you somehow only have a Switch and this is something you want to get into, I'm sorry to say, but you have a lot of homework to do. And what sucks is that I can't in good faith just tell you to go use the wiki because of how story and lore heavy this franchise is, and heaven forbid you get spoiled on something important. And that does it for our review of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 for the Nintendo Switch. All in all, at the end of the day, it's a really good port to the Nintendo Switch, and for those of you who have only played Cold Steel on the PS Vita, you might feel right at home with this version. Unfortunately, I don't believe that this game will be like what Ys 8 was for Nintendo fans. If you've never played any of the previous Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky or Cold Steel games before this, you're going to feel very lost as you dive into this, and not be able to feel the full experience that you may have had if you played the games otherwise. But that's just our recommendation with a bunch of caveats. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you guys on what your thoughts are about this game, or the series in general. Also, if you're new to my channel, finding out for the first time through this review, hey, be sure to subscribe for future reviews, commentaries, let's plays, and continued Legend of Heroes coverage as well. And I'd like to thank all these awesome people here on screen for supporting me on Patreon and being YouTube members. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching.